What you just heard was my Warwick Corvette double buck going right into my audio interface. And after that, it was just the plugin and this one little notch filter because I got a resonant frequency. All you were hearing was the Hellraiser. So, first things first, let's check out my DI tone, just going right into my interface. Pretty standard. I just got some new strings on it. They're roto sounds. Now let's check it out with my preset. So super mean. And let's check out what the factory default sounds like, because that's what you're going to hear when you first open it anyway. Quite tame in comparison, but that's because it doesn't have some of the signature stuff going on with the head. Let's go back to my preset just because it shows the best of what this plugin can do. And that is most notably this section. You know, you got your regular gain, bass, mid, and treble, but this is where the plugin really shines. Clank, you can see I went to 100, which is pretty extreme, but it's such a good sound. This really brings out the upper mid harmonic content and really cuts through the mix. Let's just check it out without any. Still cool, but it just brings the tone over the edge, you know? Aggressive as hell. Speaking of hell, we got the raise hell switch. So here it is without it. Quite tame in comparison, again. And the enhanced sub, which it's really subtle, but it just multiplies the fundamental and gets it more able to be heard on smaller speakers. So don't really need to demo that. Moving on, we have the cab section. I really like this because it has 3 very different cabs. The one that I used was the bassier of the 3. It's the Ampeg. But if we go over to the right, we got the JST Big Boy. More aggressive in the mids. And the matched cab, which is definitely the more aggressive of the 3. I can see that being used maybe in parallel with a clean tone, Meshuggah style kind of thing, bass into a guitar amp into that, probably sound pretty sick. But on the first 2, I really like how you can use 4 different microphones, which each impart their own sonic footprint. I used the FET 47. I thought it was a good balance. Aux D6 takes out some of the mids. D112. RE20. So depending on what you did earlier on, all those will probably sound either better or worse, but the fact that they have 4 choices there is pretty clutch. Also like how there isn't too many other choices. Next in the signal path, we have the EQ. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a parametric. We got gain, the Q, or how narrow your filter is, and what frequency you're talking about. So I brought up some around 15K stuff, pretty wide and pretty high, just because I like what that does for my bass, and especially with the settings that I had before. Also took down some 323 because, it just cleans it up a little bit, makes it a little less muddy. But takeaway here is that you have a lot of sculpting capability, and you don't even need to instantiate another EQ plugin, unless you're like me and have a problem frequency. But very important because that saves CPU power, right? And last in the chain, we have the compressor. This is really good because it lets you treat below and above the crossover frequency differently. So you can boost the gain of the low side. Let's check it out if we take it all the way down. just bring it up to taste. Same with the higher side. You can get a more mellow tone if you take back the gain on that. Just another way to tailor exactly how you want it. Last, there's the Demon Fuzz. I didn't use this, but I can see it coming in handy in some slower, doomier stuff. It is pretty intense. Yeah, you get the idea. It's got some of the same knobs that you might find on like a bass big muff pie. The bass boost, the dry. I haven't messed around with it too much, but again, it's there and gives you a lot more to work with. Final thoughts on this plugin. It's a really good tool. It has everything you need. It really captures that modern sound that everyone's looking for, and you can achieve that in little to no time, you know? Hope you enjoyed the track, and hope you got some information out of this. Check you later.